And we went and voted early last week.
It was back in November when Berryhill resident Pat Turney told us about some voting irregularities concerning a bond issue for the fire department. Specifically, some people didn't get ballots when they were supposed to.
After we voted, then we started realizing we did not receive another ballot at the Tulsa County Election Board. Our son, who lives with us, is a new voter, and he did receive a ballot.
The bond initiative ended up passing, but the controversy has not. And 2 months later,
whether it passed or not passed is not the deal. The issue is it's not a legitimate election.
Tommy Wagner remembers not getting a ballot on Election Day as well, until he pointed it out to election officials.
So I showed them where I lived on the map. They're like, yeah, I'll give him one. I was like, okay, you guys have already sent my wife out of here without voting. Can she come back in and vote? And they said, yeah, I guess we can do that.
Concerned about what was happening, he called the election board to find out how to file a complaint.
They're like, oh, all you have to do is come down and pay a $250 filing fee, and then we can file that, but it will be certified Friday, so you have to do it before then. I was like, okay, I'm on my way.
Meanwhile, at the fire station,
we had some people call and complain about not getting a chance to have a ballot.
Fire Chief Michael Hall says he noticed it happening as well.
Once I observed somebody who I knew should have gotten a ballot, didn't get a ballot, I left the polling place and I went to the election board and I talked to them about what they were doing.
Meanwhile, before Tommy could file a formal complaint, he says he was told by an election official that he had no standing to do so.
No, you can't do that. You have to be the one that's the election is about, or put that on the ballot. So I'm like, okay.
As for the chief, he says he was told.
I went to the election board and I filled them in on what they were doing, and I asked them what they did, and they said people who voted would be the ones who were injured. And I said, okay.
And so it was just a back and forth thing.
And now later on, I guess they were told, somebody was told that we could have filed, but that's not what they told me.
Meanwhile, the deadline to file a complaint came and went. But for some voters, that frustration hasn't gone anywhere.
Are you hoping that something will still happen?
I wish it could.
If there's still people that are disappointed, I would just encourage them to actually find out what is going to happen next.